just feeling a little bit lost. I feel so stressed for her. Buongiorno, come stai? Is any of this worth filming? I'll be thinking about Frankie for a long time. Hello divas and welcome back to my channel. We are just going to spend a few days together like we're on FaceTime. Every single time I do one of these vlogs or start one of these vlogs where it's like I don't really have much planned, I'm just going to bring you guys along for the ride. Every single time I do that I like doubt myself before starting the vlog, being like, is any of this worth filming? And for some reason, genuinely every single vlog I've posted that I've been like, that was the most boring thing ever. Are people even going to see a point in watching this? It literally is always the vlogs I feel like you guys enjoy the most, which is so funny, and I don't even know why I'm surprised because that's the type of vlogs that I love watching. Like, I genuinely just love following people throughout their lives, so I just thought we would do another one today. I woke up this morning feeling rubbish, like genuinely just feeling, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You know when you wake up and you can actually feel it already? Because I've like really been in my positive era, I've been in my manifestation era. It's like I woke up and immediately I was like trying to do my positive affirmations and they just were not hitting. And I am the biggest believer in days like that, you can't force it. Like, literally just accept you've woken up on the wrong side of the bed and act accordingly. Like, do things to better take care of yourself, look after yourself. So I had quite a slow morning in bed, which I really try not to do very often whilst I'm not working. I really try to get up every single day, have a routine, but I literally got up, made my bed and just felt so drained that I was like, babe, get back into bed for a few hours and just watch like a couple funny podcasts. Guys, I am such a Caleb Heaton and Brittany Broski fan. I've watched that podcast so many times. I rewatched the podcast of Brittany on his podcast and it made me giggle, it made me laugh. And then eventually I was like, right, I'm gonna get up. But I got up and I was like, I still just don't feel right. And I was thinking, I don't know why, like what could possibly be wrong with me? Like, I feel like there's no reason for me to be feeling like this. Like, I've been feeling good, feeling positive. And then I was like, oh, when was the last time you got out of the house? And I realised it's Wednesday right now. I've not been out the house since Sunday. In my defence, I had a Teams job interview yesterday. So like Monday, I spent the entire day preparing for that. And then Tuesday, yesterday, like obviously, I was sort of spending the morning preparing for that. So like the past 2 days, I have been really quite like busy and content being in the house. But it's actually funny, like even when you don't realise it, even when you are like enjoying being in the house, your body like feels it when you've literally not left the house in a few days. And I've really been noticing that being unemployed. If I'm ever having a down day, I can guarantee you I've not been out the house in a couple of days. What we'll do today is we're gonna go up to Glasgow. We're gonna go into town because that's the thing, I actually have stuff to do today. That's why I was getting a little bit stressed as well, because I was like, babe, you can't be in bed all day. So I thought, let's go. We'll go to like Waterstone's cafe or any cafe actually. We'll do some editing, we'll do some language learning, we might even do some reading. I can just do whatever I want. But the key part is I'm gonna be doing it out the house because the weather has also been bad this week, which I feel like makes it so much easier to stay in the house and so much harder to leave. But today it is like so gloomy, but it's not raining, which means that's a perfect reason to go up to Glasgow and just sit in a nice little coffee shop and get some stuff done and just feel good. So as always, I love bringing you guys along for stuff like this. Okay, let's do a little what's in my Glasgow bag. First thing I'm gonna pack is both of my journals. So I'm gonna pack, this is just like my journal just for my thoughts and feelings. While I do this, I can almost guarantee you I won't do it. I'm so bad for journaling. I was gonna say consistent. There were definitely phases in France where I was quite consistent with journaling because I really did try and document as much of my thing in France as possible, but now that I'm home I literally have not touched this, but I'll bring it just in case. And then I'm gonna bring my little language learning journal. This is a reading journal, but I never journal about my books. But I use this a lot though for my language learning, so I'm gonna bring both of those. Of course, gonna pack my earphones and also always got to have lip balm with me. I actually don't even know if I need anything else. Oh my god, my book obviously. Oh, let's chat about that. The book we are currently reading is The Woman by Kristen Hannah. I am really excited about this. It was kind of a rogue choice though, like I can't believe I picked this up because if anyone watched my last reading vlog of me reading books that I thought I was going to rate 5 stars, I had just finished Shuggy Bean, which was one of the saddest, most like emotionally draining books I've ever read in my life. So afterwards I was like, okay, the logical next step would be like a little fuzzy romance, like something feel good or something light to read. But then I was like, even though Shuggy Bean was like so depressing and traumatizing, it was a 5 star, like I loved it. And I was like, I know if I go into a romance that like just isn't really the vibe. If I read something that is like nowhere near as good as that book was, I know it's going to put me in a book slump. So I was like, I think I need to get something that's like a little bit lighter, but I know it will hook me in. And I always feel like Kristen Hanna does that. Like I feel like her writing is very captivating, and even if you're reading about something really heavy, she makes you want to keep turning the page. So that's why I thought about picking up The Woman, because that's the only other Kristen Hanna book I've got on my TBR at the moment, physically with me. So I decided to pick that up. I am about 90 pages into the book. I got through the first 8 chapters. I did some reading last night, so I'm really enjoying this so far. I'm honestly scared to see where it's gonna go, because it definitely is not a light read. And the thing about Kristen Hanna's writing is like, she writes characters so well that you feel like you are the character. Like you feel so close and connected to this character. So like seeing Frankie, for context, this is basically about a young girl who wants to be involved in the Vietnam War. She signs up kind of not really knowing what's involved in it to be a nurse. She's recently arrived, and it is obviously a traumatizing experience. Like it is not what it is being marketed as by the US government. Because of the way Kristen Hanna writes, like I feel like I am walking into that with her. Like I feel so stressed for her, but it is really good so far. So I'm gonna bring this with me just in case I want to do some reading as well. Also gonna bring my iPad, because I usually use my iPad for language learning. Like I'll put up different grammar things on my iPad and I can write down notes and stuff, so I'll bring this just in case as well. And then I think that's kind of everything, to be honest, and then I'll obviously be bringing you guys with me as well. I'm actually laughing at how heavy this bag is. I've really overpacked for just an afternoon in Glasgow, like by myself.
5 minutes later.
Girls, yous are literally gonna laugh. I am not joking. I just opened the door there to leave to go get the train. I was like, wait, is that rain starting? And it was literally like had just started, because you couldn't even see it on the ground yet. But I was like, oh my god, no, it's raining. And I was like, no, it's fine, like we'll just keep going. Leave my house, lock up, and walking up the street. I am not joking, it like was literally, it wasn't even raining 30 seconds ago and now it's torrential. I was literally gonna wear my little ballet pumps. I started walking up immediately, feet are soaked. I don't even know if you can see like how wet my head is. And then I was kind of like pushing through it. I literally didn't even get to the top of my street, but I was like push through it. And then I was like, wait, like you don't need to be up there for anything. Like this is you going on your own free will. Like literally go back to the house, maybe put on some more appropriate shoes, get an umbrella and stuff, and just get the next train. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't know if you can hear me, but I just need to share where I am right now, because this is like minus a million aura, me being here, like worst place in Glasgow, St Enoch Centre, but it really holds a special place in my heart because you basically can get half pizza, half pasta from DiMaggio's. It used to be £5 back in the day, now they've bumped up to £8, but it's still phenomenal. It's my favourite place to come eat. I literally brought myself here for dinner and I'm so excited. Oh, look at this. This would be my death row meal. I'm so excited to eat this and continue it to my YouTube video. Good morning, divas. I am so happy to share there is sun out today. I didn't expect this today. I checked the weather forecast yesterday and it wasn't really supposed to be nice. So when I saw it was sunny, I literally jumped out of bed this morning and got myself all ready because I'm gonna go sit outside, have some breakfast. I think I'm gonna do my French homework outside as well. But it's actually crazy how much the weather genuinely affects my mood. Like all jokes aside, I really do get affected in the winter months by the really short days, just no sunlight whatsoever. I am genuinely very nervous about it this year, being back in Scotland after doing last winter in France, because that seriously was so much easier. This might be common sense to you guys, this was just something like I kind of knew, but I actually didn't really know it until I was in France. But obviously we're quite north in the world. Most of the world doesn't have as long days as us during summer, and they don't have as short days as us during winter. So like because they're more in the middle, I don't know how it works, like closer to the equator. That in France was lovely, especially during winter. See, having it, the sun would still stay up in winter until like 5 o'clock, which obviously here, like in the depths of winter, it is literally 3 o'clock in the afternoon that the sun goes down, which is horrible. Like literally, like it makes my skin crawl even thinking about it. But that was so lovely in France. And obviously even though you get bad weather during winter, and it was a very very cold winter in France, you would still get sunny days. Like it would just be absolutely freezing, but it would be sunny. I do really struggle with like in winter when there's no sun, which obviously thankfully we're not there yet. However, it's funny because in summer I feel like I notice more how quickly my mood and like my motivation levels can change, because one day you'll have sun and then the next day it'll be cloudy. Sometimes it's like when you wake up and you just see it's cloudy outside, it's like, what is the point of me like doing anything today? Like there's something about the clouds or the rain that just makes me think, just stay in bed. Because occasionally I absolutely love when it's like a rainy day and you can just like stay in and read, but I do definitely feel much more happy and just like productive when the sun's out. So yeah, when I woke up this morning and saw the sun was out, I literally jumped out of bed even though I was so tired. Yesterday was so much fun. I am so glad I went up to Glasgow. I always say it's never too late to start the day, and I think making a bit of a different choice can genuinely be the difference between you being like, today was a fail, or being like, today was actually great, I had a great day. And that's how I felt about yesterday. You guys know how the rain started just as I was leaving the house and I had to come back in, and there was kind of a part of me that, because obviously you guys know I've been in my real like woo manifestation era, I was like, oh, is it this maybe like a sign that I shouldn't go out? But I was like, no, like I'm gonna like go out, just trust that, just get the next train. Lo and behold, my mum and uncle were coming back from like getting a wee coffee. She was coming in just as I was about to leave and she was like, oh, your uncle will give you a lift to the station. He gave me a lift to the station, we had a lovely chat. Like once again, that automatically cheered me up. So I wouldn't have had like that little lift, got to see my uncle, if the rain hadn't started. So that was a good sign. The plan was to walk up to Sauchiehall Street and go to the big Waterstones on Sauchiehall Street because I love their cafe. But as I was walking up there, I noticed the Social Bite, which I actually have not heard of or like really taken note of before. It just looked really nice, and it was just, the walk to Waterstones is an absolute trek, so I thought this is like more sort of meeting halfway, it'll just make it easier to walk back to the station. It was lovely in there. They made me a gorgeous strawberry matcha, which I really enjoyed, but I didn't get a chance to like properly read into it. Yeah, so Social Bite is the Glasgow independent coffee shop that directs 100% of its profits to ending homelessness. So I just thought it was lovely. Like I didn't realise I was walking into such a lovely establishment. But yeah, I had a great time there. I was just editing my YouTube video and then they closed at 4, so I had to leave, and then I decided to take myself for a bit of dinner. I came home with all the commuters. I literally got like the 5:30 train home and it was so much fun. I had a lovely, wonderful day. I actually didn't get any reading done. To be honest guys, I do have French homework to do, but I am actually considering just going outside and reading rather than doing my French homework. There's nothing better than reading outside in the morning with a cup of tea, so I think that's what we're gonna do. Don't mind the outfit change guys, I've got an Italian lesson in half an hour and I wore that exact red jumper last week, so I'm just trying to switch it up. I thought I would give you an update on the women. I ended up literally reading 100 pages of that this morning. I made it to page 200. Guys, I am eating it up now. Let me tell you my initial thoughts, like the thoughts I've been having while I've been reading this. One of the things I've always loved about Kristen Hannah is like, when you're reading her stories, they're so fast paced, like you cannot stop turning the page, but at the same time like she is making you think about life. You always walk away from her stories understanding people better. The thing I'm loving so much about this particular story is how it just shows that like humans can just find joy and love even in the most dire, like inhumane situations possible, and I love that. I really love the way she's like portraying that in this book. Another thing I'm loving about it is honestly just getting to learn a wee bit more about the Vietnam War. I think I'm actually going to do a bit of googling on top of this because we're kind of at the point in the story where Frankie is out there and she's like getting letters back and forth from like her friends and family at home. They're kind of talking about how like there's all these protests going on at home because they're realizing that like the government is lying to them. Frankie says she sees the newspapers, like the American newspapers, and the American newspapers are saying like the war's almost over, we're winning, but like they've been saying that for so long now. She's on the front lines, like she's literally seeing all these men coming in every single day, hundreds of casualties every single day. So she's realising like they're not telling the truth, and why aren't they telling the truth? Obviously coming from Scotland, like we didn't really learn about the Vietnam War, so I don't really know the lore behind this and the backstory, so I think I'm gonna need to do some like researching to try and understand. Also the sun has been like, it's so cloudy today but also sunny, if you get me. So every 5 seconds the sun goes behind a cloud and then it comes back out, so if you see this like lighting constantly changing, that is why. Kristen Hannah is also just such a ghetto's ghetto. I feel like every single book I've read from her, she always just portrays so well how women support each other. For example in this, it's like the friends Frankie has made in Vietnam and who she's worked with. It's like, oh, it just warms the heart. I love that that Kristen Hannah can write stories about really upsetting, serious things that still make you feel like joy when you're reading it. Like, I think that's incredible. I love Kristen Hannah and I like this book a lot so far. Now I've got my Italian lesson in like half an hour. I'm gonna sit and do some Italian studying before it, because last week I didn't like study really at all. Like, I had quite a busy week last week, so I didn't really study going into my call the entire time. I just felt like an idiot, and I found myself asking like questions asked the week before, and I hate doing that. So I'm gonna try and like go through all my little Quizlet flashcards before we go onto this call, so that hopefully I've made like slight progress. There's no me in my usual spot, ready to go into my lesson. I've done my flashcards, but it's so funny. I bet you I'll get onto this call and it'll all just fly out my head, but I tried to prepare as much as possible.
Buongiorno, ciao!
Buongiorno, come stai?
Benissimo, benissimo. Tu come va?
Oui, no, oui. Sì, bene, grazie. Ho I had, io ho avuto un'intervista intervista di lavoro.
Un colloquio.
Un colloquio, sì. Guys, I think I kind of slayed that. I actually didn't. Like, it was so difficult, but I went on today and she was like asking me about my week. So I was telling her about the job interview I had the other day, and I was like trying to give her the lore of like how I thought the job interview went. I was like getting practice of being like, and they said to me and I said to them, which I hadn't really used before, so it was taking me a while to get the sentences out, but I was trying my best. So a successful Italian lesson. Okay, divas, all of a sudden I've just decided I'm gonna go out and go up to Glasgow again, because I had a lot of fun yesterday and feel like I could use the time to be quite productive. Definitely gonna do my French homework, so I really need to do that. Maybe gonna do some TikTok editing. I honestly probably will read some more of my book today. It's nice because obviously yesterday like the goal was to get that YouTube video finished and uploaded, so that like took all my time out. But no, I'm thinking today we'll just go and like have more of a chill afternoon. Like, I just really enjoyed it yesterday, so I thought why not do it again today. Here is today's little outfit, and we're gonna get heading for the train the night. Thankfully the weather actually is nice today. I don't need to worry about getting drenched, hopefully. I have effed up so severely tonight, like it's not even funny. I've just put myself through like emotional torture. It's literally 11 o'clock right now, which is crazy for me. Usually by that point we're in jammies, we're in bed. I'm sitting here still fully dressed. I don't know why I've done this to myself. I literally just sat and basically went through my entire TikTok from the time I moved to France up until like I think like January. You guys know I like using my little like brick that like blocks my screen time, and I have it set to like go off at 11 o'clock every night. Like, I can't use social media after 11 o'clock, so that stopped me. And like literally thank God, because I would have genuinely just sat in this like psychological torture all night, like self-imposed. I was just sitting like rewatching all my vlogs. I'm literally going to cry right now. Literally, why did I do that to myself? It's the first time I've ever done that. Like, I've actually never sat before and like looked through those videos, probably because I knew it would be like, it would make me feel rubbish. At first it was like so lovely watching those videos, and I was like, oh, I'm like so glad I documented all these things. But we are at a point in our life right now where we're just feeling a little bit lost. I've intellectualized it so much. Like, I know this is part of like your life working out, is going through periods of transitions and where you don't know what's going to come next. That's a positive thing, genuinely. I know that. Like, intellectually I know that. Emotionally though, going through it, you can very much like intellectualize those things and be like, yes, I know this is going to be like a very formative period of your life. Not knowing what comes next, like that's actually where all the best things can come from. Intellectually I know that. Like, the head knows it, heart doesn't. This girl and her emotion, it's not clocking to me. Ugh, and now there's a moth in my room. I still think things couldn't get any worse. I really don't look at the time I had in France and like where I am in life now and go, life's better or life's worse. Like, it genuinely is just different. Genuinely, like, to my core, that's not how I feel that like life's gone downhill. Like, I just don't feel like that about life in general. It's just a change, like it's a transition. That's the thing, I watch those videos and I don't look at it and go, oh, that was perfect, like that was the best time. Like, I looked at it and I still remember the bad days and days where I was really homesick, days where I was anxious. I think the difference is during that time, even though there were bad days, I was still like so sure that I was in the right place. I knew what I was doing with my life. Like, I used to always say in France, every single bad day, every single thing about this that gives me anxiety, every single time I embarrass myself speaking French or like feel rubbish or whatever, there is still no place I would rather be. I am in the right spot. Like, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. You have bad days now. You still had bad days then. However, the bad days now, you feel them a wee bit more because you're maybe like feeling a bit uncertain about what's happening in life as it is, so like the bad days can just make you feel a little bit worse. It really is tough, and that's the thing. I have so many wonderful, amazing, happy days now as well. I think this was just always going to be like a difficult period, and I think things like what I have done just there have not made it easier on myself. So I need to read my book, I need to go to bed. Actually, I need to speak about the book. So my camera had ran out, so I couldn't film a thing, but I was reading loads outside. Basically, I think I genuinely have less than 100 pages left of this book now. I've practically read 70% of this book today because I've not been able to put it down. What we're seeing in the story is like how Frankie has obviously gone to Vietnam. She's came home and it's not been what she's expected, like, at all. Before I go into this spiel, if there's one message I've ever communicated on this channel to communicate so clearly and strongly, it's that I am not in any way, shape or form comparing me coming home from my year abroad to Frankie coming home from Vietnam. Like, honestly, I was even thinking about this and I was like, you can't say this in the vlog, but I do just need to make that clear. I do not think the two situations are even remotely similar. However, the point I'm going to make is that Kristen Hannah is such a wonderful writer that she can be writing about this situation that I have like no experience with whatsoever, obviously. She writes things in such a universal way that you still relate to, even though, once again, I must emphasise that I am not comparing how I feel coming home from study abroad to Frankie coming home from literal war, or anyone coming home from war for that matter. But I will just read this one quote. Like, if you took this out of context and I didn't know this was in a book about the Vietnam War, I would read this and be like, this is exactly how I feel. When she's leaving Vietnam, it says, "This place would forever hold a piece of her heart. Here, she had found her place in the world, and she was afraid that home was no longer the place she wanted it to be." And I really like that. I related to that. And then I just thought, what, that is so impressive that Kristen Hannah can write like that I am like literally relating to this story that could not like be more different from my life. I think I'll probably get into bed, read a wee bit more this tonight. I'll definitely have this finished by tomorrow, I think. Good morning, guys. So I wanted to let you guys know that I finished The Woman this morning. I literally forgot to even film it because I was so like engrossed in it, and I had just woken up and it was like the first thing I did. I absolutely loved it. This was a 4.5 stars. Like, I seriously cannot fault this book. I loved it from start to finish. Reading a Kristen Hannah book is such a gift. It's like the types of books you read where you literally don't even need to check the page count. You know, sometimes when you're reading a book and you're kind of like, okay, how far have I got left of this? Like, how far through are we? Like, if it's just not really grabbing your attention. That is not something I do once when I'm reading a Kristen Hannah book. Like, genuinely from start to finish, I find myself picking it up, not really in the mood to read, and then I end up reading for 2 hours straight because I am so like engrossed in her writing. She has such a good writing style. Like, I literally love it. The ending honestly blew me away. I think that last sort of like 100 pages, seeing where Frankie's life went, was not what I expected at all. It was really hard to read it sometimes. There were a lot of scenes in this where like Frankie was going to these veteran support groups. He was literally getting turned away because they were saying there weren't any women in Vietnam. It was actually heartbreaking to read about, but the way it ended was absolutely brilliant. I did not see it coming at all, but it made me so happy. I'll be thinking about Frankie for a long time because she seriously went through so much in this book. A phenomenal read, as always. But guys, I'm thinking I'll end the vlog there. This was just a few wee days together. You guys know I just love bringing you guys along as though we're on FaceTime. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you next week for another video.